Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Back today live with my friend John Riggio. Excited to have my architect and fellow old Long Islander joining us, even though he's in Jersey now. Excited to have him here as an architect and owner of his own company. I mean, my goodness, the work he's done throughout the tri-state area is pretty fascinating. Residential, commercial, landmark work, you name it, he does it. And he's super knowledgeable, also a tennis pro. And there's probably more today that I'm going to learn about him. What other activities do you do?
Yeah. Well,
Travel? You were just traveling?
yes, I was able to make a nice trip just recently. And yeah, I think as far as my other abilities, yeah, I think just strangely, I don't know if people would be interested in something like this, but I do have some other abilities. I think I originally some abilities that I was very good at. Of course, one was with the tennis, and then of course I said about the gymnastics, and but I was also good at some other things. I think some things they pointed out of being like really excelling was I was a pretty good billiard player. I was when I was younger, I was a pretty good billiard player, playing like playing pool. Play the game of billiards. I was pretty good with that, and I think with billiards it was very interesting. I think I had said that when I was younger, I was since I had that whole career and everything like that, I was put with a lot of people who were also really striving and doing really good. And in fact, the strangest thing happened. It was really over here in New Jersey. I was on vacation, just like a little vacation. It was like a little 3-day vacation, and I went and played some billiards, and I was a really good billiard player. I was able to like run the table on some fellow kids about the same age as myself. And but at that location, I was able to make friends with someone who is I think well known around here. Is He's had a great career. Was Al Di Meola? You know Al Di Meola,
No, I don't. Who's
the
that?
musician?
No.
Yes, the musician Al Di Meola. And in fact, yeah, I did meet him there. And it was interesting because I was still very young, not knowing what my future was, if I was going to achieve at anything. And although at that age, I already knew I was already up and coming as far as my tennis career is concerned. And yeah, he has a great music career. And in fact, I met him, played you know, some billiards with him at the time. I was young. I was still in my teens, young teens, and everything like that. And I noticed over the years, yeah, he has a really famous career in music, and I think he was originally brought up here in New Jersey. And I noticed from just like basic publications on Facebook that he's living outside the US, but his career was going great. So I remember talking to him and making friends with him when I was younger. He was playing there. We were at like one of these resort hotels, and he was the musician that was playing at that resort. He was like a daily musician that would play, and this is like years ago. I think let me see, my age now at is that was a long time ago. That was like nearly 39 years ago. So I think at the time he was already involved with some things like making the sound recordings for like some television shows that they had. I think at the time there was that television show. There was a few of them. I don't know if he was on all of them. I remember at the time there was a few TV intros like Miami Vice, like the Miami Vice music and things like that. And he was in on a lot of those music intros in television too. That's when I met him, when he was doing those music intros. And So that was interesting. So I think, but I had an excellent ability to play billiards. I never really officially made it as a pro billiard player. Never really tried to do it either. But I did have ability to play billiards pretty good, and but I think at that time when I had talked to Aldemiole, I was sponsored with tennis. I think I did tell him a little bit about my tennis playing, and uh, and yeah, I think he thought I can make it. I think I was pretty good, and I did really good. I remember beating all the kids at my age at that resort hotel that weekend, and that was really amazing. So I did have ability to do that. I'm pretty good at things like miniature golf. I haven't really lost the
Really?
miniature
I
golf
did top golf the other night
since
with
like
my kids. I
39
could
years
barely
either.
hit a ball, but I loved mini golf. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm very good at miniature golf. I didn't really like really say about myself as being really good at miniature golf or anything over the years. There's no pro miniature golf,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I haven't lost a match in miniature golf in 39 years. I've excellent at miniature golf. I think the regular full size golf isn't really my game, so and but the miniature golf, the times I played, I do have ability to do that too. I mean, that is very interesting. And so yeah, so that's some abilities I had that were pretty good. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think yeah, I think going through the well, from the last time I had left off, I went over to Japan. Oh, what
Oh,
happened?
that's okay.
Let me just click this. Oh, okay. I don't know, shut off on them. So I went over to Japan, and yeah, it was a very architectural tour. And then I think at the time I was in the middle of the tour, but I did get to play some tennis by the end of the tour. I stayed at a different hotel. I stayed at the Prince Hotel over in the south part of Tokyo. And I think the tour guide that was already telling us that that was where they had a lot of the Olympic people was staying at that hotel and everything.
Mm.
So just by coincidence, matched pretty good. I was there with around the sport people, and I played in their indoor tennis center, so that was fun. I got some tennis in, so that was always fun. And um, and then as far as the architecture tour, that was a very interesting tour about Japan. I think
Wow.
in school we always learn about things like Japan, the Japan architecture and things like that, and it was very interesting about all the temples, the golden, the gilded temples that they have there. A lot of them were Buddhist, and then some of them had different lines. Some of them had to do with things like one was a samurai house, which was built without any nails. It was very interesting, just put together with timber framing, but no nails. And they have also some other things of government buildings, forts that were constructed that I went to, and it was very educational. It really gave me a nice insight on going there to Japan. And I think I mentioned before, seeing going to the 7-Eleven was really good. Everyone's relying on 7-Eleven, Family Mart, and Lawson's. I think I always go to those type of stores. I don't know if everyone goes there, but I always go to those type of stores. They're really good for architect work. You could stop off because a lot of times architects have to go out to the field, go to different new locations, and there's always those stores available to help out. So I think that was really good. That was very interesting. I think that started to come up in the news here. That the 7-Eleven chain was really originated in Japan, which is very interesting. And so the going there and then just utilizing the 7-Eleven worked very good. And so I did that. And I think I have a few pictures I downloaded, and so that was good. And then so that worked out very nice, the Japan tour. And I think just I was looking at some portfolio pictures, just getting back to everyday work here. I think that I was working on one business called Kumon, the education. They have something called Kumon. It's a tutoring for children here. And there was one very nice client that I helped out, and I did helped her out with redesigning her entrance to her Kumon business, and that worked very good. What I did was they had just like this basic Kumon. It was divided into sort of like two um retail slots that were combined together. So they had the entrance was like on the right side and the exit was on the left side. And the her wishes were really to try to redesign that. We were successful to redesign it. I put in this very nice entrance table. It has like this radius curve on it, and it is has like a laminate top, and they put laminated wood along the curve, and it looks very good. And the whole idea did come through to work good. So now the kids can come in, and instead of like having a little vestibule where the parents sit down, they have now this double width vestibule. They have plenty of seating, and they use that same space for entering in, going to the counter, and exiting out. And that serves as how they can do this whole thing with giving the children their homework results. They usually have a drop off, and they come and they pick it up. And this whole new space with the Kumon education tutoring worked pretty good, and that was a very nice design. And then I think with her business, I also worked on another project was for her house, and with that house, it was collaboration, of course, with the client, like on every job. Put together this kitchen, and the kitchen I think was so good that even her friend looked at the kitchen, and the kitchen was so amazing that they took the kitchen and her friend made an article about it and put it in a magazine. So it was published in a magazine that it was this very nice kitchen, and that the kitchen looked really good. And so that was another project that worked out very good. And I think, like in any project, I think if the owner has an idea, the idea might not really come about. You know, they came to me to help my giving them architectural services, and I provided them with the architectural services, and it turned out to be a big success. Very possibly you could hire somebody and the whole thing could fall apart, nothing could work. So I think that was just one thing about my work, that both projects were very successful, and the design came out very nice. I utilized what they told me as far as the owner's design wishes, and helped them put together everything so that it works correctly. And that's really one thing that I'm doing here as my job, is really to make the job work correctly. You know, giving the owners input, their ideas, what they're envisioning. I add my styling to it, make things work for them, give them advice of what usually is working, and things worked out very nicely. So that was good. And I think on the Kumon job, I was looking for the final pictures. I have some pictures here that I think I can
Can you
share. Let
share
me
the
see.
screen?
Yes, let me see if I can share this. Okay, so I don't have a video of it, but I can share the video clip. Here they are. Okay. Okay, good. So I think this is,
Okay, I see
let's
it
see
this
here.
time. Yeah.
So let me go over the Kumon, and I think the only thing with Kumon I was looking, I didn't really notice all of the completed pictures. So let's see what we have here. Okay, can you see that photograph enlarged?
No, I only see the thumbnails. This happened last time a few weeks ago when we spoke. So you got to click on it. Do you see it enlarged on your screen?
Um, no, let me see if I could let's try to do it this way. Let me open up the photograph first. Okay, now let me share it.
Okay.
Okay, how's that?
There you go.
Okay, so I
Perfect.
figured out how to do that. Okay, so
Good.
this was the original set. So you had like this little entrance vestibule, And this is just some pictures that I usually take. It shows this is the exits from the vestibule.
Okay.
This is the whole thing with how the Kumon works with the children's homework, and they
Mm-hmm.
have to file it by their name and
Wow.
everything. And then this is going through walking around where the things is as far as entering in to the Kumon Education Center. Then this shows like the study area. And this is the just basic room that this was really like two areas. And then they have the study um blasting area. Now what's happening here is this was like the little corner piece that was like wasted space that they had on the really like if you look at the Kumon stores on the all the way on the left corner. And this was like a wasted space. So the idea was to really utilize this whole front storefront that they have here. And instead of using this as like a little storage area, we took the whole thing, opened up the wall, and took this whole area. We rearranged this whole glass area and utilized it as one new study area. And this, okay, so this is showing from the left side on this picture is the old entrance. Then they're showing the little entrance area where they are greeted by the teachers here at the Kumon. Then all the way on the right side, this was originally like a little study room, and the corner there was like wasted space. So this whole thing to really improve the whole area, we took all the way from the left side of this picture all the way to the right side. We opened up these walls in here and made the whole area where you could enter in, and the people, the students can exit out to the same area. And that combines their space together to really make it work a lot better for them. And I have some final pictures of this job. I have to
Cool.
see if
Let's
I
see.
could find them in a few minutes. And oh yeah, this is the owners on the right side here. This is over here on this side, and this is the outside of the Kumon Education Center. This is showing, looking at it from front. So this on the left side was that storage room that was a wasted space, and then on the right side was their usual entrance space, and that is how we took the two areas, because they had two numbers. You see it has 119, and then on the right it says 1121. So this was originally divided. So what we did was we took this whole two entrance areas and put them together into one more useful entrance and exit area. And this here says let's see, this here, this is just showing the shopping center here. This is in Edison, New Jersey. And this, it worked out really good. Okay, so now let me exit out of there. And let me just take a quick look over here for a second.
Sure.
See if I can find some final photographs of this. I think I have them here. Like I have them someplace, but they are on here. I think you just have to take my word for it at this point.
Okay.
But I'll have to just look at it. But I think that is really good. And let me see if I can find something on here. No. Okay, so I think that's one job, and then I show you the some of the other jobs. Let me see if there's another one that looks really good. And okay, that's the pictures from that. Oh yes, okay. So I think from years ago I had discussed the another shop here in Edison that I have worked on, and this is it isn't in the same area as the Kumon Education Center, but This is another project that I had described that I worked on this job, and it's really like on the street where they have a lot of jewelry stores. And this particular project, they really went out of their way to really make an amazing like advertising, like you would see in Times Square with a large screen um, of like a television screen with advertisements on it and things like that. And I think I just uploaded this. I could share this with you now too. This is another job. Okay, so I think from this you can see on the picture, you see here it says Zaveri Jewelers. So this is the whole job, is this whole corner building. The job basically includes the jeweler stores, and it also includes renovating apartments to the back of this building. And on the second floor, there's all apartments that are existing. They did a complete buy-over of the whole corner and renovating, gutting out everything. And then also constructing this whole facade I did with them. So I went through them, and they had to describe the things of the advertising system that they were getting from Florida. This is a special company that provides them with this kind of design. And it also includes a lot of their interior display cases. So this company provides the interior display cases. They also provide the advertising for this kind of retail establishment. And it also involves some things like the television screens and things like that. So I think if I just go through this one, you can see this one's on a corner, and it has this big television screen. I think this picture that is showing here now is different from the last one. It's constantly changing, like you see maybe in Times Square. And then this is another picture that is showing here. And so that is this one here. This is showing another picture that is flashing on the screen here. And this photograph is really in progress of them really renovating the more of the building. But as far as this initial retail space, that is at a stage where it's just about completed. They
Beautiful.
still have like some tape over
What
some
I
of
was
the
gonna say, what is that?
details.
Is that like extra like side little windows? What am I looking
Yes,
at
they
there?
are. They're side windows. It's like a double height window. It has like a door and two side lights. And that's sort of the tape that's still on there. So they're just finishing it. And this came out pretty good. And this is the side on the side street. The same thing with this whole design system. And this has drive it in between. I recommend to drive it. They put some looks like very nice stone tile on the bottom. And so that worked out very good. And then this one is another job that I worked on. Was here was this fashion salon. It's down the block from there. And this was pretty good. And let me stop sharing that, and let me go to the next one I have on here. Okay, so taking from there, I have the next one is this salon. Let me just open the thing on this here. Okay, so from here, this is let me share it. Okay, so I think you can see from this picture, you see this nice sign. I worked on the sign details with them on this, put this whole thing together, gave them some advice on how the sign will look. And we did a whole new storefront with this job and renovated the whole inside of the store too. I think you can see here, we completely, this whole thing is gutted out. This is what it originally looked like. And so that is, and then this here is after it's getting finished. This is showing installation. This shows the finished product here. Some display, the lighting is on. And so this is one of some stores I worked on here. And then I think you can see here, this is shows the interior finish. I don't know if I have any. I think in here you could see in there The floor is finished, everything is finished now. This is the whole store that we worked on. And that was pretty good. And from there, let me just get to the next one of these. Okay. I think the next salon I have here, let me see if I have it finished. Okay. Okay, let's show some finished pictures. So the next salon is really in a different area in Central Jersey. And let me just share this with you. And this is a similar type of a location. What they have here is they already had an existing retail slot. It's vacated, there was nothing in it, and had to do the usual job of going there, measuring everything, and going through a design with the owners. They're renting it, they're making a new hair salon, and this is another job. And I think from here you can see this is some existing conditions. This is just going through some issues, design issues of what's happening with some things like drain coming through the ceiling. And these are all important things. Some vacated space going through. I think on that vacated space of going through what's going to happen with the mechanical heating and cooling and things like that. And then just going through some different things of what's going to happen with the ceiling. And this is just showing some conditions of what's happening with the yard. With this of having a emergency gate here and things like that the gate can open. And this is some existing conditions. And this just shows some things around their space that they have a ladder can go to the roof area. You have the Bilco doors can go to the southern space. And they aren't renting those. And I think this particular building has some apartments also on the upper floors. So that's all part of the job here. And then this is just the
So
vacated
much work.
space.
My goodness. You got to have patience in your field. From the vision to the oh my gosh, to the
No,
drawings, to the renderings, to the oh my god, the permits, to the real work. I mean, wow.
I think on this job, on this particular set of pictures, I don't have too many finished pictures, but I think this is just showing the progress taking place finally on the job, that it's getting completed. I think so. This is the original old storefront. And now they didn't completely go with the brand new storefront. All they did is they did a renovation of this storefront instead. Just sort of I have a few pictures on here. It's going to show this is what they did with this. They really just sort of renovated the glass and the metal that was here from long ago, and they just sort of painted it. And they put their own signage on here. And I think that last picture is really what's showing there. And I think if I was to zoom in, you can see the hair stations. I think in this picture you can see 1, 2, 3 hair stations, and then there's another like 3 going down into the store and the reception desk area. And I think like any project, I would usually just go through some ideas with the tenant that's moving in and how they want to arrange things. They always have, of course, an idea of how their business works, and then some ideas of like where your waiting area should go, things like that. And so on this one, they went with really just renovating the old storefront, putting some new LED lighting in here. And they didn't really just rip out the front entrance on this one. They sort of kept it the same, sort of putting in a new sign that met the code for the area. So that's really what happened on this job. And this was pretty good job. This is sort of like a basic type of work that I would do for people. You see that they had this like a vacant store. They could rent it, and then they do the usual renovation to fit their own business in here. And this was another hair salon type store. So that one's on there. So let me exit out of this one. Okay, and so that was good. And I think from that list, there was another store. I think I could show you this. I think since I was able to solve the problem, we solved the problem with the thing. What I can do is I could show you two more spas real quick. Let me show you this spa because I think the last time I went through and let me see if we share this, and let me just share the sound. Optimize for the video clip. Okay, so then this was okay, can you see this?
No, I know we're running out of time though. We're over
Okay.
30 minutes, so we do have to go. But go ahead. We still got it's gonna kick us out. So
Okay, are you able to see the video?
no, I see it says running out of time and I see the Zoom page. No, I don't see the
Okay, so
video
if
there.
you don't see the Zoom page, let me try this one then. Let's try a new one. This is another salon, or it just has one picture. Okay, so I'll share it anyway. This is a good picture. It's very simple. And okay, can you see the picture?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so this is another typical hair
Perfect.
salon. I was able to stop in and get a nice finished photograph of this job. And this is a location I have talked about before, but this shows very clearly the finished product, renovating the existing storefront. This is a typical thing if they had a existing rental area, they had to make some minor adjustments to maybe the doors, exits, things like that. And then we put in the whole thing with the nail units, the venting, the water sinks, all kinds of things like that, as far as our architect is concerned with designing. And then this one here has some added colors as far as the paints are going and everything like that. And you can see they put in the LED lighting. They have some original lighting here, and these are new LED spotlights going around. So all these fixtures in here, they're all brand new. Everything's brand new. It was just a vacant space. They had used it for another use. It wasn't originally a nail salon. It was completely vacant. And this, we had to put in all kinds of things like sinks. In the rear of here, they have things for foot massage, and they have special water connections going on with that and everything. And these, the nail salons, they have a new code with the air ventilation. So these are already built in with air ventilation. So that solves the problem with that.
Got
And
it.
that's
All right, we have to run. I apologize. Let's remind us how we could reach you.
Sure. I think the best way to reach me is just to go onto my webpage. It is www.johnriggio.com. That is JOHNRIGGIO.com. And
Thank you
from there,
so much, John.
yes.
Have a great day.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thanks. It's good talking to you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.